Hello, fellow crafters. I am Miss Madi. I'm a youth services librarian with the Broward County Libraries in Florida, and I want to welcome you to Craft Mania. Craft Mania is the series of videos of very simple yet super fun crafts, and we have become inspired by the very popular TV show and book series called Avatar: The Last Airbender. We will be posting 4 different videos, each one inspired in one of the nations of the Avatar universe: the Air Nomads, the Water Tribe, the Earth Kingdom, and of course, the Fire Nation. So what are we waiting for? Let's start. Oh, I think this is the right time to say, let's do some craft bending. Hello, welcome to Craft Mania Avatar: The Last Airbender edition. And for this video, we will be focusing on the harmonious, peaceful Air Nomads. And I thought, how cool would it be that we make our own mini versions of Avatar Aang's glider? And I went around the library, looked for different materials, looked at the graphic novels and the cartoon, and came up with one. So this is what we're gonna be making today. Okay, let's talk about the things that I use to make my own version. Materials that I used. Okay, let's do it in order because I think it would be easier to follow steps into making our mini glider. So let's begin with the staff. The staff is the most important part of the glider because it's actually the main structure that holds the wings, and everything else are going to be pasting. So for the staff, as you can see, I use the skewer, which is this little guy here, but you can use any of this. I thought of like popsicle sticks of different sizes. I had a yellow one, which I thought it was really cool because it's another Air Nomad color, but chopsticks, a straw, even a pencil. The idea is to use something that is sturdy enough to hold everything. So there you go, some examples of things that you can use. Let's move on to the wings. The wings were the ones that took me a little bit of more planning because these are the ones that will dictate how big your glider will be. Before we choose materials and we start tracing, let's talk about color because color is very important in the Avatar world. We know that orange and yellow are the colors of the Air Nomads. So I went for anything that I can find in the library orange. And I have like a foam sheet, construction paper, and tissue paper. I really like tissue paper. I'm very familiar and comfortable using tissue paper, so I went for it for my craft. But as you can see, I even tried on a paper plate. So the sky is the limit, and I will be saying that over and over in the video because I just want to remind you that you can use anything that you can find to make this craft. Okay, so once you have chosen your color and your material, I chose my tissue paper, so I'm going to keep that on top. Let's talk about the template. Okay, I need something round or circular to make the shape of the wing. Like it looks like a half moon, right? You guys think so? I think so. So I went around the library, my desk, and to find anything that had that shape. And that's when I came across the masking tape. Oh, I think this is the perfect size for that big wing. Once I had my masking tape, I traced the pencil around, voila, and I had that line trace half moon. And then I went around and looked for something smaller, the same shape. You also need exactly the same shape, but smaller. So I went around and found a clear tape, and that was the perfect shape. I measure it. I only had that. Imagine I only had that part, and I measure it, and it was perfect. I wanted that thickness of the paper, and it worked out. I also found this guy here on my desk, and it was also the perfect size. It's just to show you the many things that you can find around your home for your craft. And that same one, the tape, the same one that I used for the little circle, I used it for the smaller wing because remember that we need 2 wings. So to make it more consistent on shape, I use the same object. And then for this little part, I pretty much just hand drew it because I couldn't find anything small enough. So once you are pleased with your template, cut it off, just like I did. And you have your template to draw over the material that you want. So as you can see, I used it to trace very carefully over the tissue paper because this is more delicate. And this one here. And once I was ready, I had them cut. And let's pretend that this is the tissue paper. And then I brought the staff, the material of the staff that I chose, which was the skewer, and I glue them in. So once you have the wings glued to the skewer, this is when we move on to the inside part of the wings. And as you can see, I thought of something that it reminded me of a fan, and I want to show you a fan that I have at home. So the glider has that same tool to open, and I thought, what could fit in there that is thin enough, small enough to make it look like that part of the glider? Toothpicks, of course. So as you can see, in this case, that was a perfect size for the glider that I already had. If you have a smaller glider, you can always cut the toothpicks, or you can use twigs or anything else that you find that is thin enough to fit inside the glider. You can move on to creating the shade, because the glider will be gliding and it will create some sort of shade. So that's when I brought in a black marker. I use a very thin one, but if you don't have a thin marker like this one, you could use a thick one too. That is fine as well. And you go inside the toothpicks to create that shadow shape. Okay, so pretty much that's it. It's a very simple craft. There's another step that I did. I have a color printer, and if you have a color printer at home, I found a little Aang, and I tape him to the glider. Let me use this part. I like this part here where it's sticking out, because he's like using that part to glide. And I tape him to the glider. How cute. But if you don't have a color printer, you can always draw Aang and color him, crayons, markers. And if you are not really into drawing, you can even take a picture of yourself and glue yourself here, or tape yourself. I mean, technically it is your glider, not Aang's. I would really love to see your creations. So if you'd like to share them with me, you can post them on social media. Ask your grown-ups for help. You can either post it on your family social media or on Broward County Library social media. The only thing that I do ask you is to use the hashtag Avatar Library Crafts, and that way wherever you post it on social media, I will be able to find it, see it, and send you a heart, because I'm sure I will love it. I'm just so curious of all the ways that you will make your glider. If you don't know it yet, you can find materials of the Avatar universe in the Broward County Libraries. You can find them using the Broward County Library catalog and put them on hold and request them through that. Or we also have them in digital version through the Hoopla app, just using your Broward County Library card. And if you have any questions, you can just simply call your local library and talk with a librarian. We'll be so excited to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on crafting.